After a long day, you walk through the door and there's your dog. Tail wagging, eyes shining with excitement. But you find something odd. What's that stretch? It looks like a yoga pose. You might think they're just relaxing, but this stretch reveals more than you think. It can show heartwarming feelings and even some red flags. Join us as we uncover 12 surprising reasons behind your dog's stretch when you come home. Reason 12. When you walk through the door and your dog spots you, their excitement is usually off the charts. They might jump up, wagging their tail like crazy, eager to smother you with face licks. Or maybe they're already thinking about that walk or a fun game of catch. But here's something you might not have noticed. Before rushing over, your dog might pause for a quick stretch. It's not just because they've been lounging around all day. They're smart. That stretch helps them warm up their muscles, getting them ready for all the fun they know is about to come your way. Reason 11. When you get home, your dog might feel a mix of emotions. On one hand, they want to jump up and smother you with love, but if they've been trained not to jump, they have to hold back. Or maybe you walked in with a snack and they're fighting the urge to beg for a bite. That's where stretching comes in. It can be a displacement behavior, which dogs use to burn off nervous energy or deal with anxiety. It's similar to how people might fidget with their rings or play with their hair when they're stressed. Your pup's stretch is their way of calming themselves down while still being excited to see you. Reason 10. Stretching can also be your dog's way of showing a little respect. While the old idea of dogs living in strict packs with an alpha and omega is now seen as outdated, dogs do still have a loose sense of social hierarchy. It's just way more flexible than people used to think. Most dogs naturally see their humans as being the leaders. You're the one who feeds them, takes them on walks, and decides what fun activities they do. So in their eyes, you're kind of like their parent. When your dog stretches with the head lowered, it's their gentle way of showing you respect. Almost like a little bow. It's their way of saying, "Hey, I know you're in charge, and I'm cool with that." It's a sweet, subtle way of them acknowledging the bond they share with you. Reason 9. Sometimes when a dog stretches, it's not always a good thing. Think about how you feel when you have a bad stomach ache. You move around, trying to find a comfortable position to relieve the discomfort. Dogs go through the same thing, especially if they're dealing with something called canine bloat. This common issue can happen when a dog eats too quickly or exercises too soon after a meal. Some signs of bloat include a swollen belly, drooling, pacing, panting, and even trying to throw up, but with no luck. One key sign is a sore tummy, and your dog might stretch to try to ease the pain. If you notice these symptoms, it's important to take them to the vet right away. To help prevent bloat in the future, try giving your dog smaller, more frequent meals instead of 1 or 2 big ones. And always make sure they have time to digest after eating before any playtime. Reason 8. Another serious tummy issue that can make your dog stretch is pancreatitis. The pancreas helps your dog digest food by producing enzymes. But if those enzymes activate too soon, they can actually start digesting the pancreas itself. This can lead to severe pain and discomfort for your pup. Along with stretchings, other signs of pancreatitis include vomiting, diarrhea, and your dog acting really tired or sluggish. This condition often happens when a dog eats something they shouldn't, like garbage or too many fatty table scraps. If you notice these symptoms, it's definitely time for a vet visit. To avoid this, keep an eye on what your dog eats and try not to give them too many fatty treats. It's all about keeping that tummy happy and healthy. Reason 7. Now for a happier reason. Unlike us humans who usually get around 8 hours of sleep, dogs can sleep up to 14 hours a day. So while you've been out, your furry friend was probably catching up on some serious snooze time. When you finally walk through the door, they know it's time to wake up and hang out with you. Just like how you might stretch when you get out of bed in the morning, your dog does the same thing when they wake up from their nap. That big stretch is their way of getting those sleepy muscles moving and ready to greet you with all the excitement they've been saving up. Reason 6. When your dog is really itching to play, they might use something called a play bow to let you know. You've probably seen them do this with other dogs at the park. That's when they stretch their front legs out in front and lower their head while keeping their rear end up. It's their way of saying, "Hey, I'm friendly and ready to play." So when you walk in the door and see your pup doing this, it's their adorable way of showing that they've been eagerly waiting for you to come home, and now they're ready for some fun. How could you possibly resist that invitation? Reason 5. Sometimes the simplest reason is the right one. If you see your dog stretching every time you come through the door, it might just be their way of saying hello. It could mean that your arrival triggers their stretching instinct, or it could simply be their special way of greeting you. Dogs often stretch when they see someone they love, because it's a sign of trust and affection. So if your pup stretches whenever you enter a room, it's a sweet sign that you and your dog share a really strong bond. It's their way of showing how much they care about you and how happy they are to see you. Reason 4. If you invite a friend over and your dog hasn't met them yet, you might see your pup stretching more than usual. Dogs don't always handle changes to their routine well, and meeting new people can make them a bit nervous. Stretching is their way of working off that nervous energy and helping themselves chill out. It's like a built-in relaxation move for them, helping them feel more at ease around new faces. So don't be surprised if your dog stretches a bit when your friend arrives. It's just their way of getting comfortable with the new situation. Reason 3. Earlier we mentioned that your dog might have been napping alone at home. But if your pup has been inactive for a while, especially if you have a high-energy breed like a husky or a border collie, they might start feeling muscle pain and stiffness. Stretching helps them ease into standing up and getting back into action. Plus, it can soothe some of that discomfort. If you notice your dog having trouble moving or being less enthusiastic about running and jumping, it could be a sign they need more exercise. Adding a bit more activity to their daily routine can keep them happy and healthy, and make those stretches a bit less frequent. Reason 2. Some dogs really go all out with their stretching, and if you see your dog doing a full-on sploot, they're showing off their flexibility and style. When your pup stretches its back legs out straight while lying flat on its belly with all 4 legs extended, that's what's called splooting, or sometimes frogging. It's a cute way for them to stretch their spine and relieve some pressure on their hips. You might notice them splooting more on hot days because lying on cool ground helps them cool down. So, if you've just let some warm air in from outside, that might be why your dog decided to sploot. It's their fun and comfy way of getting cozy and keeping cool. Reason 1. When your dog does a big stretch, you'll usually notice the biggest changes in their back and legs. But don't forget to check out their paws too. Many dogs will spread their paws wide when stretching and get their toes all nice and stretched out. This not only keeps their paw pads in great shape, but also helps spread the scent from the glands between their toes onto your floors. It's like leaving their mark and letting other dogs know that this home is their turf. If your dog has sniffed out other dogs while you were out, they might be extra eager to stretch and mark their territory as a way of claiming their space. So that big stretch isn't just for getting comfy, it's also their way of saying, "This is my place." Understanding your dog's behavior is the first step to strengthening your bond. Does your dog stretch when you return home? If you wish to transform your dog's life, check out this video to learn the 10 incredible secrets to transform your dog's life. We would love to hear from you in the comments below. Remember to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.